is a presentation of Real Wise Productions and Comey Media Incorporated. An all-white party is the talk of the news cycle. Next on Mentality. Welcome to another edition and installment of Mentality, the place where iron sharpens iron in the areas of health, wealth, mental health, love, entrepreneurship, and brotherhood, all from a man's perspective. I am one half of this show, one of the co-hosts of it, Cole Johnson, and I'm joined as always by the other half of this show, the other co-host, one Mr. Wize El Jefe. How you doing, man?
I'm doing great, brother, man. Doing great, man. I'm just excited, man. I'm blessed, bro. I'm blessed. I celebrated a 47th birthday. I'm here recording with one of my best friends. Life can't be any sweeter, man.
I hear that. And I echo the one of my best friends part because the feeling is 100% mutual, my friend. Donald Trump's body man is claiming he isn't guilty at all. Yes, Waltine Nauta. He is the man that was charged alongside Donald Trump with mishandling classified documents in the Mar-a-Lago estate in Florida. He pleaded not guilty this past Thursday to his alleged role in assisting the former president to conceal dozens of boxes of prosecutors say contain some of the nation's secrets. Now, the hearing this past Thursday was Nauta's third scheduled appearance in Miami federal court, and the first in which he was accompanied by a Florida attorney, as is required by state law to enter a plea. How much in trouble is the former president and those who work for him?
They trying to get him, man. They are trying to bury this man. They do not want him. They are afraid of him running for office. They are seriously afraid. So they are trying to get him out of this race ASAP.
Man, I'm so glad you actually said it that way. And I know that if of course, to the Republicans, Republican side of our fan base here, because we're loved by all parties, that is Republican, Democrat, and Independents. They would probably say, "See, there you go. The government wants Donald Trump to be out the paint," which I agree with you. I think they do too. And you would think that this is, a word that we normally hear in sports: collusion. This seems like this is collusion of a federal nature.
But the crazy thing is, I think behind the scenes there might be collusion between both parties. I don't think it's just the Democrats out to get him. There's some people in his own party that don't want him running either. So they might say in front of cameras, they might say one thing, and behind the scenes they might be doing another. Because there's people on both sides of the row that really despise this man and really want him out of the picture. Like I like don't get me wrong, I am not a fan of his.
Mhm.
But the more and more I look at things and stuff, it's a perspective on him is changing. And
Yeah.
it's not I'm not saying that he was right. There's things that this man is wrong about, but then there's also things this man says some stuff that really makes sense.
Mhm.
So
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm actually bad enough to admit that this I might have jumped the gun on how I judged him, but there's just certain things I just don't like about him. Honestly, the way he treats women to me is that to me is something personal because I was
Yeah.
raised by my mom and my sister, so
Of course.
that's my issue with him personally.
And I know how I definitely know it because of conversation how important both those women are in your life. Not
Yeah.
to mention your wife, obviously. Earlier this year, I don't know you saw this. Uh, in the Delaware home of the current sitting president Joe Biden, people said, and the government said that there were classified documents there.
Mhm.
Now, is he being brought up on charges in Delaware for them? No.
And this is from when he was vice president.
This is when he was vice president. So this means the last time he sat in the White House as vice president was 6 years ago. That was the latest that he was vice president. A Texas man, actually a Houston man, who was found alive more than 8 years after he was reported missing as a Houston teenager, was living with his mama the whole time. So in the
What?
news conference, so the news conference this past Thursday, the Houston Police Department said that Rudy Farias was reported missing by his mother in 2015, but returned 1 day later. During the 8 years that he was reportedly missing, police received tips and leads that indicated Farias was not missing. And they said that many of the facts included contact and statements with relatives, friends, and medical professionals. Now, from 2015 to now, police said Farias spoke with officers, but he used fake names and dates of births, which misled officers. Now, along with it, his mother, uh, Johnny Santana, alleged that her nephew was the person friends and family were seeing at the house. With the fact that this guy was missing only 1 day, but the family kept it on as if he was missing for 8 years, should should Johnny or Janie Santana and Rudy Farias be charged for falsified reports?
What? I don't understand, man. Like, why? Like, what was the purpose? What did they gain from filing this report? Like, filing him missing for the last 8 years.
Mhm.
What did they gain? What was the
Absolutely
like?
nothing.
Did they get it? Did they get any money? Like, was people sending them money? Like, what did they gain?
if,
'Cause now you got to keep this.
if you
You
can
got to
answer,
keep this rouge up for 8 years. 8 years. Who has time to keep this lie up for eight? Oh my god. I can't believe this. Like, I'm serious. Like, who does this?
I wish I was making this story up. Unfortunately, yes, this is news in Houston. And when I saw this, I was like, all right. So the boy's now a man, so he's culpable in this too. I'm thinking, why would you want to perpetuate this ruse? I Because I don't see a financial benefit from this.
Right.
And it wasn't reported that the the man now was a juvenile delinquent and was trying to was running afoul of the law. So what? Huh?
You can't claim benefits. You can't claim anything because you're missing.
Hmm.
What you stood home 8 years? Like, did you not leave your house? Like,
Gosh.
I'm trying to wrap this around my head. Like,
Hmm.
who does this?
Yeah.
Like, I don't understand. Like,
Hmm.
Why perpetuate such a lie for
For
8
so
years?
long. For so long.
For
Yeah.
8 years.
To do it for one day is one day too long. He did this for
8
8 years.
years. 8 years.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. I if there weren't more interesting stories that we're actually going to touch on later in this program, I would have had this as one we focused on for sure.
Bro, this is the situation. Like, these are the stories where, as family members, you should punch people in the face. You should punch family members in the face for doing stupid stuff like this.
Well, a person who probably earns more than just 8 punches in the face was a Philadelphia gunman as police was searching for a motive this past Tuesday after a heavily armed gunman went on an apparently random rampage that left 5 people dead and 4 injured as the nation endured the year's 29th mass killing on the eve of Independence Day. Now, police said that the gunman had an AR rifle, a pistol, a bulletproof vest, extra magazines, and a police scanner as he fatally shot 4 men and chased and killed the 5th one inside the house. Now, the police identified the victims as a 15-year-old, a 20-year-old, a 29-year-old, a 31-year-old, and a 59-year-old, all gentlemen. Now, this, of course, happened in the state in which he resides. So the question to you, and I'm sure you've probably seen this probably ad nauseum. So my question to you about this is the following. How is it we have such easy, in fact, I'm going to amend this question. How is it we have such easy access to not just assault weapons, but police issue equipment along with it?
And as capitalism. Listen, you can buy anything here, man. Anything for here is for sale. And if you know the right people, you can get a scanner. You can get police gear. You can get stuff. Again, everyone knows I am a registered gun owner. I believe in the Second Amendment.
I do,
But
as do I.
AR-15. Like, what do you really need an AR-15 for? What are you hunting with an AR-15?
When I saw, right, that's why I was with it. I'm like, the heck you doing with an AR-15 in a city?
Maybe
In a
up
city.
here, maybe if you lived up here in the mountains where I live, and you had a big piece of land where, but like for me, the state grounds, they have a range here, but that I could go and shoot on. But there's gun range, local gun ranges around, and it blows my mind, man. Like, how could you think of taking someone else's life?
Yeah.
Especially the innocent, especially people that have nothing, especially when you go into
Right.
schools, mass shootings. A 15-year-old boy was shot, a 20-year-old who had just the beginning of his life, a 28-year-old whose life is just beginning. You got someone who's 50, they're still halfway through their life.
Yeah. And through no fault of their own, it's all over. We're just getting started. Mentality will return. What's on E. Dicka's mind?
A and B, I'm going to see my way out of it. Because why? I don't care. I have a message for people who do nothing but complain about black people. We can't change who we are. You called the cops on me. I think that every time you call the cop on someone on a false accusation, Yo need to be a little bit punished.
BS3 Network proudly presents a man with a lot to say and is unabashed to say it. What's on E Digger's mind? Sundays at 7:30 p.m. Central. Check your local listings for your viewing and listening pleasure. The Mocha Minutes Podcast, a black person safe space. Well, I'll let Stephanie talk about it further.
You would be a Michael Jai White. I'm sorry. No. I like him. He's so pretty when he don't talk. Would Will Smith, if this was a white comedian, would he went up and slapped him? Would y'all have a problem with it if it was a white comedian doing this? People who say water or wash, I'm like, how did wash get an R in it? Stand up. I don't know why 5 Heartbeats just popped in my head. Stand up.
From entertainment to society and culture, that comprises of the Mocha Minutes Podcast, hosted by Stephanie. Welcome back to Mentality, where men are men and not machines. With Wize El Jefe, I am Cole Johnson. And we talked about this story a few months back, and we're going to bring it back up because I think we need to touch on this yet again, because I almost feel a bit of an I told you so coming from the both of us to the rest of society. So we're about to enter into celebrity style. Now, back in March, major movie star John the Majors of Creed 3 and Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania was arrested back in March on an assault charge. Now, his lawyer said that Majors was the victim of domestic violence. The kicker, police believe there's enough evidence to arrest his now ex-girlfriend / his accuser. Now, New York City police say that Majors was involved in a domestic dispute with a 30-year-old woman, as identified as a London-based woman. I'm not going to mention her name. According to court documents, that woman alleged that Majors pulled her finger, twisted her right arm behind her back, struck and cut her right ear, and pushed her into a vehicle, causing her to fall backwards. However, NYPD has issued what is a probable cause I card for her. Now, for those who are unaware with how New York law works, an I card is different than a warrant in that it is not signed by a judge, but alerts police that there is probable cause to arrest someone, according to the New York Times. Now, I will begin this by asking said question here. Where is the outrage with Major's ex-girlfriend assaulting him?
Yeah, right. That's not happening.
No.
That's not happening. It's ridiculous that first of all, when they first happened, me and you were like, okay, we're not hopping on this. We don't for some reason to us it was weird. It was fishy.
Yeah.
We were like, yeah, nah, I'm not believing something off. It's kind of like the Jussie Smollett situation.
Yes, I had a very similar feel too of that. Yeah,
it was like
something in the middle is not clean.
Something here not connected. And so when we first discussed it, we were like, listen, we're not going to jump to the conclusion. We're not going to be the ones saying he's guilty until proven. No, we said we don't know the whole situation. We don't know what's going on. We don't know all the information. And lo and behold, look what happens.
Hmm.
It was her who was the abuser.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
and then this is the issue that we've had in society, that when women say some things and it might not be true, but because they said it,
The law automatically believes them.
and then in a situation where a lot of people like, I understand why a lot of guys didn't side with Jonathan Major, because they didn't want to be in the point of, they didn't want to be attacked like, oh, we're shaming the victim. Oh, is the victim, like, this is a victim here, we shouldn't side with the attacker. But again, we weren't siding with him. We were just saying we need all the facts to come out.
Exactly.
We're not
Yeah.
rushing
Before
to
we,
judge this man until the
right.
facts come out, until
Yeah.
we really know he did this.
Yeah. Before we go off and leap at that conclusion and say that Jonathan Majors is a thug, he's a coward or a punk, or any other derogatory name you want to mention, an abuser. But before we was going to jump on that train, we were like, no, I need to see all this evidence. I
Yeah.
need we both, to a man and collectively, said no, we need to see this,
Yeah.
because the man that we came to understand as Jonathan Majors, I'm like, no, he's not. He can't be doing this. I don't see him doing this.
From what I've seen in interviews, and from the way he's acting in interviews, and from the stories he's spoken, and the relationship he has with his mother,
That's a huge key.
me personally, being someone that has a
Similar relationship with
relationship with
yours.
my mom,
Mhm.
I couldn't see him being abusive. And then the crazy thing was, everybody was like, "Oh, look at this big hulking guy," but he was never always like that.
No,
He just
that
recently
was
got like
recent.
that. Yeah.
Yeah, that was recent. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So yeah, we both were like, no, we're not going to shame Jonathan. Nah, because it's not enough. There's not enough evidence that makes us say, God, he's a clown, because he isn't. Because I think he's being railroaded, and I still think he's being railroaded, and I'll touch on that a little bit. Why would this woman report domestic assault when she allegedly was the aggressor herself? I'm still at a loss for words with that one.
Because in any situation, first of all, he's a black man. Let's put that. Let's be honest.
He's a black man. She's a white woman. Yes.
And we've already been labeled as aggressive, angry, all these things that they talk about black men.
Mm-hmm.
And of course they're gonna assume, oh, here's an angry black man abusing the woman.
Yeah. He's not out the woods yet. He has a trial that he has to now plan to prepare for, and it starts in August. So this this new story came up from the Rolling Stone, and he published a report alleging Majors previously demonstrated abusive behavior. Now, for those who are unaware, Majors came from and graduated from Yale's David Geffen School of Drama. And if you want to know the luminaries, just think Angela Bassett for one. I think Meryl Streep for another, as to the ones who graduated from that school of drama. So the report lists concerns of his time there, as well as his treatment of crew members during his professional career. Now, the Rolling Stone reported that more than a dozen sources saying that Majors emotionally abused two of his past romantic partners, including physical abuse in one of those relationships, but both partners declined to comment. Now, former Yale classmates noted his talent and drive, but 6 of them said that he had altercations and confrontations with peers, and some said his intensity could be a bit much at times. Goodness gracious. How much weight do you give to this Rolling Stone report of past allegations?
Man, it's he said, she said. There's no concrete evidence, but since they wrote it, it's the people who reading it is it's got to be true. It's got to
Right.
be true. But it's all he said, she said. There's no solid evidence. There's no proof. The two women declined to comment.
Mm-hmm.
So but you're still gonna pump. That's the thing. Like it's crazy that they can still post. They can still write this without having genuine proof. Without having it's just allegations. So
Yeah.
they can go out and put these allegations out there and tarnish someone's reputation.
Yeah. Yeah, that is exactly what sucks about this. This turns what the court of law is supposed to be about on its ear, because this literally is guilty until proven innocent instead of innocent until proven guilty. And you still have people say, "Well, see, look at that. I told you he was an abuser. I told you he was scum and sleaze." I'm like, well, I haven't still seen evidence of that yet. Even with these reports, I still haven't seen it yet.
And you won't, and you probably won't, and you probably won't.
And you probably won't. Yeah.
They're gonna print and write whatever they want. Doesn't matter if they have the facts. To them, hey, it's a story.
Yeah. And that's what sucks about that. So thinking about all this, and actually I just got finished watching Ant-Man and Wasp, Quantumania, and of course he was the bomb in that movie. And I saw bits and pieces of Creed 3. He was really good in that one as well. And I was just thinking about this question when I was watching him on the screen, as just opposed to what we're talking about now. Will this bump in the road forever tarnish the stardom that Jonathan Majors has achieved?
Yes, it's he won't get to where he should have been gotten. He won't get to being the Denzel of his generation, and that's what it looked like he was headed to. And it's a shame, man, because he's a talented actor. He is a method. You can tell he's a method actor. He really dives into his characters, and so maybe in some of those situations where and especially when he was in Yale and theater, he maybe was in character. You never like some of these actors are really, when they get in character, they really get into character. They play that character. Like,
yeah,
Will Smith is one of those guys that dives into his characters.
Mentality will be back in 2 and 2. There's a 100% chance of a laugh thunderstorm. 4 men with different viewpoints take a movie, show, or documentary and review it uncensored, unfiltered, uncompromised, with no holds barred. Join BS3, Wilkes, King Doc, and H-Rap B as they take on Hollywood their own way. BS3 Network proudly presents The Forecast, where H-Rap B always predicts,
if I owe you something, I ain't got it. And if you need it, get it from God.
live every Monday at 8:30 p.m. Central. Check your local listings for your viewing and listening pleasure. Are you looking for something to do on your lunch break? Well, there's a show on the BS3 Network that has only 4 words to say to you.
We ready. We ready. We ready for y'all. We ready. We ready.
The Lunch Break with AJ, powered by JM&E. Live weekdays at noon Central. Welcome back to Mentality, where this is the place created for all men. With Wize El Jefe, I am Cole Johnson, and I'm going to get to it right now. Mr. Darius Jackson, it is time that Wize and I walk you to the learning tree. The interwebs had a field day on Darius Jackson. And for those of you who are probably hearing this name for the first time, and you're probably saying, who? This is the who. He is actress Keke Palmer's boyfriend. Now, they're pouncing on him severely after he recently criticized the way Keke dressed to a concert, to an Usher concert. Now, the 29-year-old actress attended said Las Vegas residency of Usher's this past week, wearing a black bodysuit under a sheer dress. Now, in a video circulating social media, Usher is seen serenading Palmer with his song "There Goes My Baby," and as he sang, the duo hugged and swayed to the music. And the fellow singer that Palmer was, she even had a brief turn to the mic and singing herself. Now, Mr. Jackson had this to say on social media about his baby mama's dress at that concert. Quote, "It's the outfit, though. You a mom. We live in a generation where a man of the family doesn't want the wife and mother to his kids to showcase booty cheeks to please others, and he gets told how much of a hater he is. This is my family and my representation. I have standards and morals to what I believe. I rest my case." Close quote. Now, if you're going to be looking for that particular bit online, the account is now gone. Now, I will start by asking this. Why would he air his displeasure of his baby mama's outfit on social media?
Insecurity. Point blank, man. He was insecure. He is insecure. This is Usher we're talking about. Usher. And he's seeing my chick. And she looking good in what she wearing.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, he jealous. He jealous. He hating. He hating. He like, Usher, you can't be doing that. Keke, what's wrong with you? You're a mama now. This is what he's saying. Like, you're a mama now. Can't be doing that. Well, before she was a mama, you was loving who she was. You was loving that fine Keke.
Mm-hmm.
And now
probably dressed the same way.
Now, because she a mama, why? Why? Because she had your baby. Now she has to change up. Come on, man. You just jealous. You're just hating. If listen, I'm sure if Usher wanted Keke, he could have had her.
A long time ago.
She was you. Come on, Darius. Like, chill.
Right.
Like, let her. She's just finished having a baby. She got her bod back.
Mm-hmm.
Come on, man. Let her live a little. She's still young.
Yeah, she's not even 30 yet.
Listen, man. That's Darius. You're just showing your insecurities. You're just showing your skirt right now. That's what you're doing.
Thank you for saying that. Because that was the very first thing that just popped in my brain. I'm like, come on, man. Really? Really?
You're just showing your skirt now, man.
Really? Look, and I love one of the responders to that comment, who basically said, look, if Usher is singing to your wife in Vegas and she still comes home to you and your baby, guess who won? Not Usher. You.
It's insecurities, man. Like, dude, she coming home to you. It's just Usher just saying, listen.
It's just Usher having a good time. So how much do you believe his actions were straight up because of his internal insecurity?
100%. 100%. All that was because of his insecurities. All that. And then when she called, probably when she got home and called his out on it, he decided to delete the tweet. He's like, yeah, let me just cancel this account before I keep getting myself in trouble, man. Put it in my mouth.
Oh my gosh. I'm like, I'm like, oh my gosh. I'm like, dude, if this is what scares you the most, you got some really good problems, man, because it's not like Kiki is tippy-toeing out on you and cheating. Or are you in fear of that?
Or
which also speaks of insecurity.
Or are you doing it and don't want to be just feeling a little bit guilty?
And that also speaks to insecurity as well. And it's funny, Minnie pointed to his comment of, basically it's my family and it's my representation. And of course that ticked off a few people.
Oh, you already know that's to them. That was a misogynistic comment.
Yeah, it ticked off a few people because they were saying, "Well, wait a minute. So what you saying, dude? Is Kiki's yours? Is that what you're saying? I mean, she's your property. Is that what you're saying? Yeah,
that's how it sounds.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it definitely is how it sounds.
That's how it sounds. So,
all right, man. Why is this such a problem to where it has become a battle of the sexes conversation all over the place?
Because insecure men make it a problem. Like,
well, you hitting grand slams with this, boy.
Yeah, no, listen, man. Let's be honest.
You hitting grand slams with this, bro.
It is, dude. Listen, dudes out there need to really just chill, man. Like, listen. I think now because it's okay now to show your emotions, and we're getting a little bit too sensitive now. We're really we before were analytical thinkers.
True.
And now it seems like these dudes is thinking with their emotions and not really thinking it out. We dealt with our emotions differently. We actually dealt with it differently. So that's why a lot of us are the way we are. To the point of where y'all a bunch of sensitive out here.
Your wife or mine, but yours definitely. She would, if she would be dressed to the nines, she's dressed and she's fire dressed, and she's going to see, name an R&B singer that she just thinks is absolutely attractive. He spots her in the audience.
Yeah. Don Omar. Let's put Don Omar. She loves Don Omar. Yeah.
All right. So Don Omar points her out in the audience. He sings to her. Now, I know you a laid back dude. I know the thought you have is, yeah,
well, I'm getting lucky tonight.
As I'm saying, I know your thought is, yeah,
oh, I'm getting some tonight.
Thank you,
thank you, Don Omar, because it's gonna be nice and wet for me when we get home.
Right, you set the mood, because when my baby gets home to me tonight,
it's on.
Cool.
Yeah, it's on.
So, what's the correct approach to handling this type of situation?
Grow some balls, man. Like, listen, just
thank you.
Just grow some balls and let it go. Like,
thank you.
Again, she's coming home to you. went outside and scraped our knees and fell and chipped a tooth and
Yeah, and in our guild we overcompensated. Yeah, maybe.
yes, in our guilds we f***ed up. Yes, because we got these a whole bunch of generations of. Am I allowed to say that? Or is that politically correct? Because we got a bunch of running around.
Later we will have thoughts from the throne. This is Mentality. The Mocha Minutes Podcast. A black person safe space. Well, I'll let Stephanie talk about it further.
You would be a Michael J. White. I'm sorry. No. I like him. He's so pretty when he don't talk. Would Will Smith, if this was a white comedian, would he went up and slapped him? Would y'all have a problem with it if it was a white comedian doing this? People who say water or wash, I'm like, how did wash get an R in it? Stand up. I don't know why 5 heartbeats just popped in my head. Stand up.
From entertainment to society and culture, that comprises of the Mocha Minutes Podcast, hosted by Stephanie. Alicia.
You can't hold somebody to that standard if you haven't voiced what you want and what you're needing from that.
Mika.
If you're not communicating expectations, you're waiting for your feelings to be hurt.
Nicole.
A lot of people don't want to take the time out to be alone and to get themselves together.
Ivan.
You got to be willing to work through stuff. And from the jump street, y'all done had problems. Maybe you don't need to be working through those.
BS3 Network proudly presents Queen 3 and King Podcast. Live every Tuesday at 7 p.m. Central. Welcome back to Mentality, where it is the ultimate masculine safe space. With Wize El Jefe, I am Cole Johnson. And now it's time to talk about a certain former quarterback living his best life. Welcome to Something to Ponder. Tom Brady attended an all-white function out in the Hamptons for July 4th, and it was a party thrown by Michael Rubin. Now, it wasn't the talk that he simply attended the party. No. It was supposedly the sparks which flew inside the star-studded Hampton home between Brady and Kim Kardashian. Oh, yes, they were seen being super flirty with each other at the Fanatic CEO's annual white party. Now, an insider claimed the retired NFL quarterback is exactly Kim's type. Do you think a relationship is going to happen between Brady and Kardashian?
I could give two about a relationship between Brady and Kardashian. If we're being honest, I could care less. Like, I didn't care when she was dating Pete Davidson and Kanye before that, and who was there before that? Whatever. Like
Chris Humphries. Yeah.
She changes men more than regular folk change underwear, man. Like I don't know, like
Yes, he does. I mean, Kanye was her longest relationship. That should tell you
and
something.
look what she done to that man.
Man,
He was already a little off balance. She just pushed him over the edge.
screwed that dude's head so tight. He now
Listen,
frequently walks in public with pantyhose on his face.
that Kardashian curse, man. Tom, if you really, I'm telling you, if you want to end up like Bruce,
Oh,
did I say that out loud? I'm sorry. Sorry.
Man.
Sorry.
Oh Lord. So
I mean, I'm sorry. It's no longer Caitlyn Jenner. My apologies. My apologies. Caitlyn Jenner. I'm sorry.
Oh man.
I know Bruce wants to go by his new name. And that was my wrong. That was my bad. But yeah, unless you want to go that route, Tom, that Kardashian is dangerous.
Okay, so to that end, is this a good look for Brady or a bad one considering the Kardashians? No, considering Kim's dating reputation.
Bro, you go from classy Giselle Bundchen to
Who has
Kim
twice as much
Kardashian.
money as he does.
To Kim, I don't care about the money. It's just the presentation of
woman.
Yes, and she's all woman. And I'm not saying Kim is not all woman, but at least you could probably count the bodies she's had on one hand, a couple of hands. Giselle probably ain't been loose. She, like I'm saying, she's had a couple. She had Leo. I'm saying she's been this like in some A-class relationships. Kim, who's Kim had? Ray J. Chris Humphries. Kanye. Pete Davidson.
Reggie Bush.
Oh yeah, I forgot about Reggie Bush. Forgot about my man Reggie Bush. There's a couple. I'm sure there's a couple other people I'm missing. CP3. Didn't CP3 slam that?
I think so.
I'm sure there's quite a few basketball players that done rung her bell, but Tom, if that's what you like, if you like that, then go ahead, brother. But I think it's a step down from Giselle to Kim K. Personally,
step down. Wow.
Step down, like a couple of levels.
How interested would you be if we were to see Tom Brady on the TV show The Kardashians?
What? How interested? What interested I would be?
How interested would you be if we were to see Tom Brady masquerading on the Hulu TV show The Kardashians?
I would rather go get a colonoscopy while I'm fully awake than to watch an episode of The Kardashians, even if it included Tom Brady.
And you didn't disappoint. Yes. So considering this was last week that this happened, and considering also the I hate to say it this way, the fragility of one Mr. Kanye Omari West's mental state. How do you think he would handle such news of Tom Brady being flirtatious with Kim Kardashian?
Look how your man handled Pete Davidson. Pete Davidson, a comedian from Saturday Night Live.
Right.
How do you think he's gonna handle a 7-time winning Super Bowl quarterback? One of the greatest of all times. How do you think he will respond to you kind of took a step up. Like, this is Tom Brady here we're talking about.
Yeah.
One of the greatest
And
of
look,
this generation.
and now, thoughts from the throne.
So I just want to thank everyone for all the birthday love this past week, man. Been greatly appreciated. 47 years around this earth. Man, I'm blessed to be able to do what I'm doing now, to be able to come out here and entertain everybody and just have a great time doing what I'm doing, man. Thank you, everybody, for all the support and love. I appreciate everybody out there whose supports mentality stuck in my mind. Poppy J and Wize, the Snowman in the Morning, Revelations, all these fantastic shows that me and my partners and everybody else that no credential required. Oh man, In and Out Sports. There's so many great content. There's so many people out there that I enjoy collaborating with, and I look forward to what they're creating because it makes me a better creator, seeing the amazing content that they create, and it just makes me want to go harder. So shout out to all you guys out there: Drew Willingham, Ryan McCarthy, Sig Diggy, Vicala. Victor Locke, man, I appreciate you, brother. Also, A Pizzle, who's amazing, who actually is one of the first people to buy a t-shirt from Stuck in My Mind. And I'm always gonna remember that. A Pizzle, thank you very much. And just Chris Bates, thank you, brother, for the being a wonderful mentor and for being an open book and for allowing me to pick your brain whenever I have a question. And just thank you, everybody. Appreciate it. That's what I got to say. And of course, big shout out to my brother Cole Johnson for even wanting to do this show with me.
You know, we talk about how people are jealous of one another, and we talk about how, not necessarily Wize and I, but society. We talk about how people are jealous of one another. We talk about how people are envious of each other. And you just now heard my partner, one of my best friends, a man that I do consider truly a brother, basically give flowers to many great content creators out there. And why? Because his heart is absolutely pure and he understands the concept that I'm about to throw out to you. If you really want to be rich in this world, celebrate your friends' victories as much as you would celebrate your own. Like like this past Friday, our brother and one of our close personal friends, Brian Snow, got a chance to celebrate Snowman Multimedia being at the channel on YouTube being partner program ready to accept monetization. A friend of mine is getting to enjoy life on his own terms. And that's the wish I have with Ryan for Ryan, for Drew, for A Pizzle, even for Victor, and for Sick, and definitely for Wize. Celebrate your friends' victories. It'll make you richer than you could ever imagine, because it's made me richer because of it. And those are thoughts from the throne.
I am retiring the F Boston chant. It's drawn to its conclusion.
What?
Yeah, no, I'm getting bored with it. I'm being honest now. I really am getting bored with it. It's the names, man. Like the names are getting boring. Like there's no one really interesting anymore. So,
Wize quitting cold turkey F everything Boston.
Yeah,
Okay.
no, yeah. Like I could have easily said Christoph Porzingis.
Congratulations, Boston. The biggest hater to your city has tired of you and is now no longer going to cast aspersions towards you.
No, I won't. And there's not even another city to replace it either. So there's only one city that it's just Boston. It's just Boston that I had that animosity towards.
He says it's not even gonna be another city to replace it.
No. It's so I'm fine. I'm gonna retire it. Like I said, until they do something stupid, then they have to bring them back into the fold. But
and then he said, "But it's Boston, and they will do something stupid." Lord, okay,
they will. I'm just guaranteed, bro. It's guaranteed, man.
You are not right. Oh my gosh. Okay. Well, this also goes for Boston, and this goes for non-Bostonians all over the world. We thank you for liking, for sharing, for subscribing, and for hitting the notification bell to get any and everything that emanates from the Real Wize TV YouTube channel or the Comey Media Incorporated YouTube channel, because we enjoy putting this platform in particular on for all of you. And we thank you for all of your support.
Yes, we do.
And that about does it for this episode of Mentality. We thank you so much. For Wize El Jefe, I am Cole Johnson, saying in parting as we always do, our secret technique is that we always speak with mentality. See you next week.
Peace out.
That's 100.